Hello and welcome everyone, it's Shannon. Now today we're going to make a quick card and we're going to use some products that are on clearance at Spellbinders. Now I'm showing you several birthday sentiment die sets, and this is the Fabulous Birthday. There are 7 cutting dies. You've got Flirty, Fabulous, Sassy, and Classy, and Bougie, Babe is what you have with this one. And then I'm also showing you the Birthday Cheers, and this has got Happy Birthday to You, Cheers and Wishes. There are 6 cutting dies. We're going to use this one on our card today. And I'm also going to show you the Bougie Birthday Sentiments. That is a press and foil plate. We've got You're a Gem, Treat Yourself, Wishing You a Bougie Birthday, Birthday Wishes, Bougie Dreams, Happy Birthday, Gorgeous, You Were Born to Sparkle. And I'm bringing in the Born to Sparkle 3D embossing folder and coordinating stencil. And I've already embossed a panel that we're going to use. Not going to use the stencil, but I wanted to show it to you. Now, Spellbinders does not have this set here available, but I will link it at scrapbook.com because they do have it available. It's called the Ganache Gâteau, and I'm going to use the macaroons that are included in this set. I'm also showing you, Spellbinders sent me some of their metallic cardstock. We've got the gold, the silver, and then the onyx black metallic. I've not used the onyx. I'm excited to have that. We're going to use the gold on today's card. They also sent me, they've got some double-sided adhesive pages that you can add to your dies. When you've got like really intricate dies and you don't want to glue them, you can use that. I'm not going to use it today because these dies are not they're not really thin, fine. They're a little bit more substantial, so I'm not going to use them on that. But we are going to use the Glimmer, and I'm going to glimmer these bougie birthday sentiments so that I can have a couple of these for the inside of my card. I'm just going to use some gold glimmer foil, and we're going to bring in our cardstock, and we're going to foil it up, and we're going to have our inside birthday sentiments for our card. Now I'm making this for my daughter's birthday. She's going to turn 29th. I have got Wendy cardstock. That's what I'm using for my 3D embossed panel, and I'm going to use it for these sentiments as well, and these are going to go on the inside of the card. So this will actually die cut out 6 different sentiments, and then and you can run it through your die cutting machine in a single press, which is super nice. Now I've got the other elements to my card laying there off to the side. I've got several macaroons that I have die cut the pieces out for. I've assembled a couple of them, but I'm going to assemble 3 of them on camera so that you can see it. So here's my Glimmer, and you can see it glimmered beautifully, and it's got all the sparkle and shine. And I'm just going to get the machine put off to the side. We're going to bring in the die. I'm going to use some of the Best Ever craft tape just to hold the dies in place so that I get a good clean die cut when I go to cut them. And we'll just go off camera, we'll cut them out, we'll come back in, and we will have our six sentiments ready to go. I'm going to use 2 on the inside of the card. Now we're just going to get to assembling our card. I've got my 3D embossed panel, and I'm holding it on there, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use that metallic gold cardstock for my sentiments. So I thought I'm going to lay a panel of it down on this card base, and so we'll trim our 3D panel down. I'm going to trim it down to, I can't trim it down much because the Happy 29th birthday sentiment that I'm going to use is going to be extremely large. It's going to cover most of the panel. So I'm just going to take it down to 5 1/4 by 4. We'll just take a 1/4 inch off, and then we can have a little gold frame layer behind this Wendy panel. And I chose this blue because she prefers blue over pink. And so I've chosen this light blue, and I think my macaroons will look nice on there, and it'll make a nice little card base for us. So I'm going to bring in, I had already cut a strip that I knew I would use for to die cut my sentiments out of, but then I'm going to create a panel for my card, and then I miscut this. So I'm going to have kind of a strange strip there, but I'm going to just cut it down to 4 by 5, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then we'll just frame our Wendy colored panel that we've got there, and we'll have just a nice pretty gold frame around it, and then it'll pair nicely with the sentiments that I'm using for this particular birthday card. This is super simple. We're literally adding our birthday sentiment down, and we're going to add 5 macaroons, and it's going to come together really quickly. So I'm just trying to get it laid up on there and not get my gluey fingers on there. If you get glue on the gold metallic cardstock, you can just wipe it off with a paper towel, and you'll see me do that here in a minute. When I go to lay down my sentiments, I'll get a little bit of glue on that metallic cardstock, and you do just need to kind of buff off any glue so that you have that really nice metallic shine without any gluey fingerprint marks on there. So, and it does take a minute to get the panel to adhere on the metallic. It wants to move around. You do have plenty of room, plenty of time for wiggle room, but you want to give it time to glue. So I'm going to bring in the birthday sentiments. I'm going to do happy 29th birthday. And so you can see this sentiment is quite large. And so I needed plenty of room on my A2 size panel to get these words laid down on there. So I'm just going to bring in my Platinum 6, and we're going to get these laid down on there. Now I do bring in a extra piece of, it's actually cardstock, and I'm laying on there because I'm afraid my plates might make some impressions on the gold metallic, so I'm just going to lay a panel over that, and then I'll press on top of it. I've got a little bit of some etching there on that top plate, and I don't want to put little squiggly lines or anything like that on my metallic cardstock, so I layered it up with that extra panel just so that it wouldn't make any weird marks, and it just die cut out beautifully, and we've got the really pretty metallic shine on this. So I'm just going to get all these bits and pieces pulled off of here, and I'm using my Spellbinders tweezers and just lifting them off of the plate carefully, trying not to stretch them or anything like that. And then we'll get all the bits and pieces out of there. And we've got a really nice happy 29th birthday. And I'm looking for my TH, and I'm like, where is it? I didn't pop it out of the cardstock, so we just need to pop that out. And then we'll get this mess out of the way, and we're going to get to building this card. So I'll just put my dies up. I actually dropped one on the floor. I need to look for it. I think I dropped the 2 on the floor. So here's the 2 macaroons that I assembled off camera, and I just layered them up how I wanted to. I actually kind of duplicated one of the dies on there because I wanted more dimension than what the set allowed for. So I just duplicated one, and I kind of alternated colors so I could have some layering, so you could clearly see the layers of the macaroons by using the 2 different colors, the lighter and the dark, and it just really makes the layers of the macaroon show up very well. Now these could be macaroons or macarons depending on what kind of filling you put inside of them, but I'm just calling them macaroons because that's normally, I think, what my daughter, this is her favorite cookie. She likes to get these. We have a place called Cake Bake, and she likes to get these there. And so I'm just going to layer these up. We're going to have 5 different colors, and I think it just adds just a fun little element to this fairly simple card. We've got the 3D embossed panel that makes, for dimension, and then we've got the shine of the metallic gold cardstock, and then we've got the color from the macaroons. And we've also got some dimension because I'm going to pop these up with just some foam. So we'll just get these other 2 assembled, and then we'll be able to get these laid down on our card. So just giving them a press. And the tweezers are so helpful for this because it, kind of helps you keep your fingers from getting gluey. However, I do get some glue on my fingers when I go to lay the sentiments down. So just trying to get that lined up nicely. And then we're going to do the pink one, and then we'll have 5 little macaroons that we can lay on our card. And I think it came together really quickly. Of course, I did all my die cutting in advance, so that was helpful of the actual cookies. And we'll get these layered up. Now, I could have used, like I said, that adhesive, double-sided adhesive sheets from Spellbinders for the sentiments, but these are kind of chunky. You've got plenty of room for glue, and I like to save those sheets for things that are very intricate and where you don't have a lot of room for gluing. So, but I wanted to show them to you along with the metallic cardstock because Spellbinders had recently sent that to me. And so I'll link all the materials in the description box below so you can check them out. I will link up that the ganache gâteau, which is the big cake, and then the macaroon die set. I'll link it up from scrapbook.com because I noticed they do have some of those available. I think Spellbinders is sold out of those. But all of these sentiments are currently on sale. So if you need some birthday sentiments, you can pick those up. Now, I will tell you the numbers die set was not available, and I did search both scrapbook.com and Spellbinders, but it was exactly what I needed for this card, so I brought it in. Perhaps you might have that already. It's called Classy Numbers. I don't know if Scrapbook Pal has it or not. I didn't check there, but if they do, I'll link it in the description box below. But I just thought it's just the perfect number set for this particular card, so that's why I went ahead and used it. I generally try not to show things that are not available, but I just wanted to add the 29th, and I needed this, so that's what I did. Anyway, so we'll get these laid down on here. I'll actually raise the 2 up and then bring the 9 down a little bit, and it'll give me a little bit more room for my TH to fit that in there. And so I'm just going to snuggle that up there, and then we'll get the 9 laid down, add the TH, and then we'll get our birthday laid down on there. And I was able to get the sentiment to glue down on the 3D emboss panel, but I did choose to use some foam tape on the macaroons just so that I could get them to adhere nicely with all that dimension on there. And we'll get this laid down on there. It's a fun, quick card. So just trying to press them without getting a bunch of glue on there. I'm just going to arrange my little macaroons and figure out how much room I have to space that birthday down on there. So we'll get some glue on there and then we'll get it laid down. So I hope everyone had a wonderful Memorial weekend, and this video is actually going to air on Memorial Day, so I hope you have a great Memorial Day. We are actually going to go to a little Memorial Day party, and so I'm looking forward to that. I do have to I'm going to make a red velvet cake to take, and I'm going to need to get up tomorrow and get that thing made and take that to the party. I imagine we'll have, you know, kind of standard cookout type food, but I was asked to bring a dessert, and so I just picked up a red velvet cake and thought that's what I will take. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, super simple. So here's where I'm just taking a paper towel and I am buffing any glue off of those sentiments that I had gotten on it from my fingers. And I'm just going to bring in some foam squares and just pop up the back of these macaroons, and they fit perfectly. They're just the right size for these things. And I'm just going to get these laid down on there. We'll pull off the backer sheets and we're going to get them laid down on our card. I'm going to try and space them, try to get a good spacing on here. So I'm just going to lay them down where I think I want them, and then I'll lift them up individually and remove the backer and try to get them nice and evenly spaced on here. So just trying to line them up carefully. I think it's cute. Cute little card. I think she'll like it. So I'm going to use those tweezers to just get my fingers out of the way so that I can get these laid down. And when I'm doing kind of a line, I like to do, you know, when it's going edge to edge, do one side and then do the other side. Then come back and I'm going to do the middle, and then I'll try to center the other two in between there and just get them laid down on there nice. Super fun. I should have made an extra one to tuck on the inside of the card with my inside sentiments, but I didn't think of that until after the fact. So we've got our happy 29th birthday on there. Now that one I didn't pull the backer sheet off and it fell, so I have to get it placed. And just give it a good press, cleaning off any little fingerprints I see on there from my glue. And then I'm going to grab 2 of the sentiments. I'm kind of holding it up there thinking, could I put it across there? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So I have chosen for the inside of the card, Happy Birthday, Gorgeous, You're a Gem. And I thought the gem would be fun since we've got gems on our embossing panel there. And I think we've got a really nice inside sentiment for our card. And I've got a birthday card. So I'm going to get this laid down on here. We'll give it a press, and I'm going to get my mess cleaned up, and we'll take a look at the card. I think it turned out super fun, super simple, easy card. And here's a picture so that you can check it out. And if you like, please consider hitting that like. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.